you're in the right place. This is the Eatfluencer Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Maggie Landis. Together, we are going to unpack everything about eating and discover the what, when, and how that will let you lead your best life. This is not your doctor's conversation about nutrition. Today is when you can start to love eating again. Let food be food and you be you. Get ready to get eatfluenced. Hello there and welcome back to the Eatfluencer Podcast. I'm Maggie Landis, your host here, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. This is kind of a different episode. You're listening to episode 74, which I have called A Mom for All Sizes. All right, this is Mother's Day this week, if you're listening to this in real time. And this is kind of a different episode today. This is not a real science-y, investigative, clinical, heavy, intense conversation about anything related to food or dieting or health. This is for moms. This is what I need to hear myself, and so maybe if I say it out loud to you, I will absorb the message that way. But we'll get into that in just a moment. I want to throw out there a quick reminder that if you are a health professional, any type of health professional, you see humans, you support health, doctor, nurse, physical therapist, clinical social worker, psychologist, dietitian, nutritionist, chiropractor, anything. I've got a free training that you really need to participate in. It is called 3 Secrets to Fast Track Your Client's Progress by Breaking Up with the BMI. Just think of it as the Breaking Up with the BMI workshop, because we can do our job without weight and scales and BMI. In fact, I would argue that the evidence supports we can do our job better without those things. And this 1-hour training is essentially how to start breaking up with the BMI and the scale as your first step moving in a weight neutral approach to your own clinical profession. So all the information is in the show notes or on my website, my Instagram. You can find it anywhere if you're interested in doing that. It is free and it's relatively new. I just launched it a couple weeks ago, so I want to just put that shameless plug out there. But let's get into the conversation today. We are talking about mothers and Mother's Day. That's on my mind a lot right now, particularly. My mother-in-law actually died 2 weeks ago, and we just got back from being out of town and the funeral and all those things. So I have a lot of feelings about motherhood right now. And, the more I kind of was trying to get my head in the game to do what I had originally planned for this podcast, I was like, you know what? No, we're going to talk about this whole mommy bounce back culture and how diet culture is really targeting moms. And this is a little bit of a let's expose the problem. But more than that, I hope by the end of this episode, you feel lifted up and encouraged and reassured if you are a mother. This show's for moms. Anybody can listen. You can keep listening. I'm not going to check your credentials or anything. But if you're a mom, you will feel like I'm talking directly to you. The way you became a mom, whether that was in a hospital, in the back of an ambulance, in a courtroom, however that happened, the moment you became a mom and charged with caring for another human life outside of your body, instantaneously you became a different person. I've never heard anybody who's a mother argue that point for a minute. So you know exactly who you are. You know exactly what that feels like. And you know that you will never, ever, ever be the same again, ever. You can't revert back. It's one of those things that you can't undo. And you're permanently responsible for this extension of life that is outside of your body. Really, it's a part of you outside of your body who is experiencing the world separately and independently from you. And we need to talk about what this bounce back, mommy, get your body back, go back to pre-baby life, what it is really doing to us. Okay. Have you ever even questioned that narrative? We really should. We should really be questioning it. We're speaking up more and more about diet culture and the weight loss industry and the beauty industry, but this whole mommy bounce back culture is just the same thing dressed up in another set of clothes. It's the same gaslighting, diminishing, self-deprecating, guilting, shaming sort of approach that they take with all women, but the diet and beauty industry really love to capitalize on the vulnerabilities of mothers. So let me just remind you, if it's not top of mind, that the diet industry and diet culture is a business model. That's it. It's not anything else. And when we try to frame it in any other lens, we're being totally deceived. Okay? They don't want you to drink a daily shake and shed the baby weight faster because you're going to become a better mother. They want you to give them your money so that you will buy their products and support their business. Okay? They don't have you, upload a goal photo from, 10 years ago into your little food tracking app and look at it 20 million times a day because these people are somehow experts in human biology. They are not. They are experts in marketing. And they know just as well as you do, you are never, ever going to be the same person again. But if you keep using their products and keep trying and keep living under the delusion that you can earn back a body that you had in another life, they've got a sustainable business model, and that is all they care about. It is a business. So, they sell all this same garbage to young women and women that aren't mothers and men and everybody, but this marketing to moms, this mommy bounce back culture, mommy self-care culture, that's this, toxic version of diet culture and the weight loss industry. It's just marketing. The moms are a special breed. Okay? Like I said, you are permanently changed when you go into motherhood. That's it. There's no reverting back. Your heart, your mind, your body, if you had a pregnancy, this is how life works. Diet culture and this mommy bounce back thing try to give us the message that change is bad. And we're really vulnerable to hearing that message and taking that on. That change is unnatural, change is undesirable, change should be avoided. And as long as we believe that message, we're going to be putty in their hands. We are victims of the diet culture. And honestly, we've all bought into it, right? We've all bought into it. I have too. You have. We all have at some point. But let's just step back and call a spade a spade. This is not a message of love or sisterhood or femininity. It is a extravagantly complex, manipulative marketing psychology. And I'm not just mad at them for swindling us and deceiving us and manipulating us. if you want to throw money at them and try every solution on the planet to look like you're 20 years old and never had a baby, then you're welcome to do so. And by this point, you should be pretty clear with what the end result is going to be. But the message that they give us, specifically when they're talking about our bodies, is that we're not enough as we are. We're not complete. We're not whole. We're not fulfilled. We're not loved. We're not capable. This message that we are anything but exactly who we are supposed to be right at this moment in our motherhood, that is really, honestly, the nidus of my fury. This continuous input of not good enoughness, it erodes our ability to be the very best mom we can, and the mom that our children deserve to have. See, it's so twisted how this happens, because we are kind of deluded into thinking that participating in this bounce back culture is like a required rite of passage and is like the gateway to the sisterhood of becoming a successful mother. It's really the complete opposite. It's a big set of cultural handcuffs that mess with our head, keep us distracted, totally disillusioned. We are confused about our identity. We are worried about our body. We wonder about our, ability to be moms. And ultimately, this all trickles down to your kids. So, it's everywhere, and it's so covert and candy coated that it's that's how it gets to us, because it doesn't on the surface seem like a big deal to make some comment about 9 months on, 9 months off. Maybe you've heard that, it takes 9 months to put the weight on, it's going to take 9 months to take the weight off. There's this comparison trap of people talking about how long they breastfed and how long specifically they breastfed in order to lose weight, and this insufferable string of selfies in the mirror in your sports bra for months and months and months and months and months. Trust me, if you do that and you show up on my Instagram feed, you are blocked and hidden, because that is garbage. We don't care. And all you're really doing, honestly, is exposing your own insecurities and continuing to propagate this entire aesthetic-focused mommy bounce-back culture that your own children, your own daughters, are going to still continue to be faced with in 20 or 30 or 40 years from now if you don't stop it. So stop it. And if you don't think I'm annoyed enough at this, I am doubly and triply infuriated with healthcare professionals who promote this idea, because it's not health. It's not medicine. It is not science. It is marketing. It is a cultural narrative. It is weight bias, laser focused with a big X on our backs to all the moms in the world who are carrying the weight of everything. And if you're taking your health guidance on the internet from some internet celebrity guru or some influencer, then, a little bit of that responsibility is on your shoulders for not being smart enough to understand who's talking. But if you are seeking out support from a doctor, a midwife, a dietitian, a nurse practitioner, a PA, a chiropractor, a nutritionist, somebody, a professional, particularly a licensed professional, that is telling you how to get your body back, quote, that is, frankly, I think that's criminal. It's not just ignorant. It is, at its best, negligent, and frankly, I think borders on malpractice, because we know We know dieting causes harm. We know intentional weight loss recommendations harm patients. We know that. We know weight stigma, uh, you know, influences health in a negative way. There is irrefutable evidence about that. We end up with weight cycling, which increases these metabolic dysregulations and cardiac disease. There's anxiety and disordered eating and eating disorders and depression and suicide risk and menstrual irregularities and all this. I can go on and on and on, but it is just inexcusable to me that anybody with credentials would advocate for you returning to your physical form before you had a child. Just stop telling everybody to diet. I mean, really, that would solve the problem if we just stop telling everybody to diet, but stop justifying this diet culture weight biased advice to moms simply because they're moms, and you're using that as your indication to pile it on. Motherhood permanently changes you. It changes your mind, it changes your heart, it changes your interaction in the world. And guess what else permanently changes? Your body. Your body changes. Your body changes with pregnancy, with weight stigma, with medications, with surgery, with hormone therapy, with trauma, with breastfeeding, with sleep deprivation, with stress, with relationship problems, with financial concerns, food insecurity, birth control, aging, menopause, whatever. All the things that you are going to go through as a mom from motherhood to death. You're never going to be the same. You're never supposed to be the same. But let me tell you what. I know this sounds like just one big beatdown and a super negative thing. And I'm in this space now, pleading with you, if you are a mother, to recognize how it is limiting your own abilities, your own potential, and it's damaging your kids. All right? Every one of you mothers listening right now is probably like, yep, this is motherhood, right? But you would also agree with me in a second to say that being a mom is the singular, most meaningful, most important, most rewarding thing you have ever done in your life. And guess what? You can do that in any size body. You're enough right now. You can take care of your body and respect your body right now. You can celebrate and appreciate your body and what it has done for you and your kids and your family right now. You can learn to eat in a way that honors your health and your budget and your culture and your schedule and everything else that's important to you right now. So let me tell you 3 things. This is the takeaway message from today. Number 1, you are the expert in your lived experience, in your family, in your motherhood, in your own identity. You're it. Nobody else. Nobody else. It does not matter how many followers they have, how much money you paid them, how many letters they have behind their name. You are the expert in your own lived experience. And the second that you decide you're not, and you fork over that decision-making power, that identity-defining authority to somebody else, you are no longer the best version of yourself. So don't do it. Number 2, you are never going to be the same after having children becoming a mom. You're not supposed to. So all this time and money and mental space and energy that you are spending looking at pictures of yourself when you were 25 and weighing yourself and counting almonds and going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning to do these intense workouts, you're chasing your tail because it's an illusion that you are the old you. If you diverted all of those efforts into respecting your body now, understanding how it works, coming to appreciate what you can do and what you want to do right now, that is the ticket out of this mess. There is absolutely no guarantee how many more days or months or years you are going to be in that body. But there is a 100% guarantee it is the only one you're ever going to have. Okay? There's this idea that you are the pre-motherhood 20-year-old college co-ed person trapped in this giant mom suit, and you're looking for the zipper to try to get out. That's not it. This isn't a costume. Okay? You exist right now in your current form because you do all the things that have led up to this moment. You're here, and you can either fight it and argue about it and spend the entire time looking in the rearview mirror and being upset and distracted and belittling yourself, or you can respect your authority and start operating out of your current body in a way that aligns with your values, feels good, and will propel you forward and not keep you stuck, okay? And then number 3, this may be the most important takeaway of all of it. Your kids are watching all of this. And guess what? So are mine. This, quote, mommy bounce back culture, this diet culture that we hate, that is partially our responsibility because we collectively are the culture. The culture doesn't just drop from the sky. We together in our behaviors, in our communication, in our actions, we are the culture. We define the culture. So do you want your kids, particularly your daughters who may someday be mothers, to grow up reading labels, taking selfie after selfie in the mirror with more and more, scrutinizing, manipulating filters on there so that we look thinner and more flawless? Do you want her saying no to her own birthday cake because it has too much fat or she's on some sugar detox? Do you want her exercising in her bedroom after you go to bed until she loses her period because she doesn't think her body is enough? What about when she grows up and she won't stand up for what's right in the boardroom, in the C-suite, because she doesn't like the way her suit fits? Or she doubts her own relationship with her spouse because of her size. And, we are responsible for all these things happening or not. Just like the culture before us is responsible for us feeling this way. We have to stop. And you can't start being respectful and accepting of your body when your kids are 16 years old. Okay, they're watching everything. Your toddlers, they're watching. Your 2-year-old that is learning how to eat at the dinner table is watching when everybody's eating one thing and mom is eating something different. They know that. They don't know what that is. They don't know what that means or what that represents, but they are starting to, at a very young age, get the message that being a woman and being a mother requires sacrificing food, managing your size, and always having that top of mind. And we don't want our kids to grow up like that. That's how we fix the eating disorder crisis, is by stopping our own, sort of deprecating behavior right now. So you can do it. Let me leave you with this, all right? You are enough. Your body is not wrong. It's not broken. It's not, hidden in a mom suit. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to bounce back. You need to respect yourself, and you need to evolve day by day, year by year, into the mom and the grown woman that you are supposed to be. Okay? And I know you can. I know you can. I hope that you enjoy your Mother's Day this week. I know Mother's Day is not always happy. Even if you are a mom, you may have challenging relationships with your children. You may have some adverse family dynamics. You may have lost your mom. You may have, God forbid, lost a child. Motherhood comes in a lot of flavors. Not all of them are great, but you're a mom because you never go back. Once you're a mom, always a mom, okay? And please know you are in the right body, in the right moment, exactly where you're supposed to be, and I'm here to support you if you need it. All right. I want to make one more announcement before we close off this episode. I am starting a one-on-one coaching opportunity. I know, isn't that crazy? I don't hardly ever do that. But I am starting this innovative program of micro coaching. And you may say, what does that mean? I've never heard that term. You know what micro coaching is. You just don't know the term micro coaching. What this is instead of, sort of traditional coaching, the way you think of working, maybe the way you've worked with a health coach or a intuitive eating coach or somebody before, where you set up meetings and maybe you meet with them once a week or once every 2 weeks for 45 minutes or an hour, whatever it is. This is more like real-time feedback coaching. So you essentially are going to have access to me almost in real time, not really real time, but with the Voxer voice messaging, you can send me thoughts, questions, clarifications, struggles, problems, wins in the moment they're happening, on the go, on your phone. Little snippets of voice text. You don't need to be sitting at your computer. You don't need to be on a Zoom call. You don't need to carve out a bunch of time in your schedule. This is convenient, and this gets you feedback the way you need it when things are happening. When something comes up that's like a big challenge, that's a lot to hang on to it for another 10 days till your scheduled coaching session, right? Think about the way athletes are coached, okay? Like your golf coach doesn't stand there silently and watch you swing a golf club for 2 weeks and then spend an hour telling you everything you did wrong on the 9 million golf swings over the last 2 weeks. It wouldn't work. They wouldn't even remember what to say to you. You wouldn't be getting the right takeaways. Or like a boss. Okay, if you work in a role where you have a supervisor that has to sort of support you and mentor you as you are doing projects or whatever, is it more helpful to meet with your mentor, let's say, for an hour every 2 weeks? Or what if you met with them 10 minutes every single day? You'd probably get a lot more growth, a lot quicker results with the real-time feedback. So that's what I'm trialing this, and I'm taking only a very limited number of people because I want to make sure I can support the people that I take on 100%. And so it is at a founding rate now, which will never be beat. If you're interested, the link is in the show notes. You can pop over to my DMs and send me a message if you like on Instagram. Let me know you're interested in this. Anyway, I think it's fun. I wish I was having a coach that coached like this, because I just think it's the way it's going to work the best. But I look forward to continuing this conversation. I want to support you however you need that support, however you wish to connect. And there'll be a new episode next Wednesday of The Eatfluencer. Thanks for joining me. Until next time. Thank you so much for being here today. If you love what you've learned, follow me on social media at Maggie Landis MD, and you'll never miss a thing. You can also check out my website at maggielandismd.com and sign up to be part of our community of eaters. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll talk again soon.